What's up? Second video of the night. So I never started this channel with the intention of talking about basketball as much as I have. Obviously, as you well know, it's my favorite thing in the world. So once I started, it was really hard to get me to stop. And I like to try to have some fun with it. I'm not gonna take the basketball portion of this channel as seriously as some basketball specific channels, which there's a plenty of good ones out there. I can there's once in a while I'll dissect the play or I'll dissect the team strategy on a more intellectual level. But for most part I just want to have fun with it and maybe highlight some of the more fun fan aspects of it. I'm not gonna try to be not too hard on players, stuff like that. Try to appreciate the beautiful game for what it is. So with that being said, I wanted to make the focus of this video uh, the highlights of a player that you probably either have A, never heard of, or B, if you're old enough to have heard of him, you probably haven't thought about him in 10 years. So to give you a quick, you have like 5 seconds to guess who I'm talking about. He played between, I think he was drafted in, I want to say '04. Yeah, I think it was '04, and he played until his last meaningful season was probably like 2011, and then he hung around for like 3 more years, not doing much. So he was in his prime between like '08 and 11. All right, your 5 seconds is up, and you, like I said, you either never heard of him or you haven't thought about him in 10 years. But he has some crazy highlights, and he's a super fun player to talk about and super obscure. And that player is Travis Outlaw. I don't know how many of you guys remember him, but he has some really crazy highlights. And I just wanted to go through them a little bit and then as well as have a quick little talk about his career. So why don't I do the career part first? So let's look at his basketball reference page. So I just opened this and closed it before I started recording this. So, okay, he's drafted in '03, wasn't that far off, straight out of high school, remember that. Um, his seasons when he really played, he shot the three, look, high 30s, 39, almost 40, 37, 38, 38, 37, and then it dropped off a bit. So his career is a little on the low side. But in his prime, and if he had played today, where that's something that would have been made more of a focal point, he probably could have excelled more greatly in that department. And he was also a tremendous athlete. So that's a deadly combination. Good three-point shooter and good athlete is a very deadly combination. Uh, as you can see, very, very mediocre career. Played 10, 11 years, never averaged more than 13 points, only played 82 games, a single season. And as I mentioned before, he had a few good three-point shooting years, but his career three-point shooting is nothing amazing. But the crazy thing about him is he has some of the weirdest, wackiest highlights that I can remember. So let's go through some of these. Okay, and the weird part about all of this is, for some reason, I watched a lot of Blazers games in those years between like '08 and 10. A lot. They had a lot of potential back then due to the Roy Aldridge connection. Obviously, no one was sure if Odin was going to be able to play a lot or a little. Batum was coming up. He was pretty interesting. I think Sean Livingston was on that team. Who else? Outlaw, obviously. Did I mention Batum? Yeah, young Nick Batum was on that team. He hadn't really carved out the niche in his career yet. Uh, Rudy Fernandez, I think. But yeah, for some reason during those years, like, I've had League Pass all this time, and for some reason, like, I watched a lot of Portland games those years. So basically, all of these highlights I'm going to go through, I think I watched almost all of them live, which really just added to the mystique of Travis Outlaw. That I saw all these highlights of his live was very unusual. So we're going to go through some semi bloopers first. This is, I remember, I definitely saw this one live. Just, it, very emphatic missed dunk is the only way to put it. I again, the the crux of this channel is highlighting plays that I've never seen or hardly have ever seen in 30 years of watching basketball. And you do see violent dunks that go off the back rim sometimes, but never like this. This sucker bounces out to beyond half court, which is just, you know, talking about the athleticism, taking off from very far away. Able to carve through a defense and go up for that. And then just, look, he doesn't even get that up to be able to throw this off so violently. It goes beyond half court. No one can even attempt to make a play on it, which is just great. But that's not even his best missed dunk. The next play is, this has been on YouTube for almost 15 years. And I still watch it maybe a few times a year because it's just the funniest play I've ever seen. And it's called Travis Outlaw. I just search Travis Outlaw airball dunk every time I want to watch it because I've been watching this video for so long. This is one of the funniest plays I remember seeing. It's only 4 seconds long, but first of all, can you picture how someone might airball a dunk? Well, this is how you would do it.
Outlaw. He shot that over the rim.
All right. Well, this is so short. We can't even watch it slowly. We just have to do frame by frame, basically. I'm gonna pause. Okay, so right here. First of all, all right, Houston. We're up by. Houston was my team back then, so they're up by almost 30. So that's awesome. Look at this. He gets so high. Again, I love this guy. This is a bloop. The first 2 shots are bloopers, but I'm not ragging on him. I just like to riff about basketball. He gets so high that he throws it. Look at how the ball is above the square on the backboard. He could have what's my friend who followed dunk contests would know this better than I do. There's this, the honey dip is the elbow dunk, right? But there's like a proper name for the armpit dunk, I believe, is like a more advanced honey dip. He could have armpit dunked this. Look how high. Look how he easily could have elbow dunked it, but he may have been able to armpit dunk it. That's how high he got. And just throw it over the rim like that it's just so funny to me for some reason, this whole clip. And if you picture, if he had come straight on instead of the baseline with that same type of release, it would have probably been like the last clip, but even worse. So I just wanted to point this out, and you should watch it on your own time because it's just such a great clip. Then we'll just watch it one more time.
Outlaw. He shot that over.
Again, I'm not trying to rag on him. I actually love him as a player. So I'm gonna save this for last because it's a little unusual. This play I 100% watched live because it was awesome at the time. You can see here Denver is down by 3.
4 seconds, 3 seconds. Plays it for 3. Outlaw blocks it, and the winning streak is at 10.
Well, you heard the announcers say it. The winning streak is at 10. I do remember Portland having a very long winning streak that year. So a few things about this play. Number one, the guy who's shooting, his name is Kleza. Some of you older fans might remember him. I think he might have had like very small hands or something. I have no evidence of this, but for some reason he always took it up with 2 hands. Dunks, among the more complicated gathers for certain layups. I don't know if his hands were small or something. He never went up with 1 hand, so that was always interesting to me. But that's not that important. The most important thing about this play is that, you know, from watching a lot of Portland games in this era and having just a weird mental note of anecdotal Travis Outlaw highlights, is that he blocked a lot of threes, it seemed like. A testament to his athleticism and timing, of course, but, you know, blocked threes are pretty rare in the NBA, and even when they do occur, it's usually at the release, because realistically, like, you have like 1/1000th of a second after it leaves a person's hand before it's at a height that no human being can reach the ball, right? It's going to be like 15, 20 feet in the air. So most blocked threes, and they're already super rare, are at the release or at most like a few inches above it. You just time it perfectly. And Outlaw does have great timing, but he really kind of, I know I said at the release, but this is realistically as high of the, this is realistically as high as you can block a 3. Even though it looks like he just released it. If I, even if just 1/100th of a second later, and it would be too high for anyone to get. So that's awesome. He's just a testament again to his athleticism. And going back to what I said, it seems like he blocked a lot of threes from when I watched Portland games. I wish I had data of this rather than just my memories, but it's just a skill that he was elite at for some reason. And this one, again, was huge because it preserved the win for a winning streak. So we'll watch it one more time. This was a great play and indicative of what he would do often. Just, I really think he would have been an amazing player in today's NBA. Athletic, can shoot the 3, and then makes plays like this. I remember I saw a stat one time that when Steph gets his 3 blocked, he shoots it a lot worse for the rest of the game, which makes sense. You know, you have to think about you have to be more conscious of the defender's positioning in space. So, you know, someone who can contest threes like he can in today's NBA would be a huge asset. Can shoot the 3 and can disrupt the 3. Whew. Long, athletic, young, like straight out of high school. That is a Maury ball guy to the end. I would. So here's another. It's so weird going down this memory lane because most of these plays I remember watching live. This is just a nice cockback, straight up. You know how I talked about in my Donovan Mitchell video how much I love power dunks that go straight up, chest out, not even to the side. On Rudy Gay, not a great defender, but obviously a very athletic person. Watch that again. But you know, just showcasing the athletic portion of his skill set, and like as you can see from the extension, very good standing reach. Look at that. That's actually kind of cool. I never thought of it this way. So Rudy actually gets higher than him. Again, Rudy's not like known for his defense, but he is known for being a good jumper, and he actually gets higher than Travis. But Travis, you know, with his length and just athleticism, is able to hang in the air just long enough to not get overpowered by that and still follow through. So we'll go frame by frame here. And yeah, he just swings the ball around so quickly that Rudy's extra height doesn't matter. Look, Rudy's head is way above Travis Outlaw's head here. But look, he just swings it so quickly. So yeah, now you've seen plays where he jumps super high, like in the case of the airball dunk. You've seen times where he has great timing on his jumps. That's like the block 3 highlight. And then here it's like he only gets a little high, but he just has great coordination to finish the play. That's awesome. Again, it's so weird. This play I watched live too. I don't know why I watched so many Blazers games back then. This one is he kind of hangs in the air a little to finish it. Yeah, this one is different. This one he does get higher than who that guy is coming than him. Just so stylish too. You know me, I love a stylish dunk. Sorry. Who is that?
This isn't top 10 material. I don't know what is.
20. Oh, I know who that is. It's Rodney Carney, 25 on the Sixers. I had high hopes for him. I really remember when he got drafted. I was like, this guy can be something. Let's look up how his career turned out. Rodney Carney. I remember when he was drafted. I was like, this guy should be okay. He only played 5 years. Wow. Never really got a lot of run. 18 minutes most. Could shoot a little. Not bad 2-point percentage, really. By the way, this is the statistician in me. Never ever look at field goal percentage. It's a useless stat. Always look at 3-point percentage and 2-point percentage, and then the frequency by which they take them. You have to. Just looking at pure field goal percentage is completely useless. So yeah, decent 2-point percentage. Not a great 3-point shooter. I'm guessing this was very few attempts that year. He's kind of, what is that? 4 rebounds per 30 minutes. Kind of bad rebounder for his size. Not much playmaking. All right. Okay, weird. Sorry, that was completely unplanned. I didn't mean to go off on a Rodney Carney tangent. All right, this I also saw live, was amazing. This is a little longer, so I'll just let it play while I talk over it. So this is just super rare. Like, how often do you see? How often do you see? Okay, first of all, I think there's a, yeah. See, he didn't block that, but that's what I'm talking about. Great contest on a 3-pointer, which how many players can you really say that about? And then yeah, back to back reverse oops, including like the JR like Stevie Francis, like catching a super low with the pump reverse. That's just so cool. Like, who does that? How many, like, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see why I wanted to make a video about this guy? Nobody remembers him, but he has some of the wackiest highlights I've ever seen. He's got, like, great dunks on. He's got a elite skill of blocking threes. He has, like, a funny blooper in which, you know, he's just... only he and a handful of other guys are capable of making that blooper because he gets up so high. And then this I saw live too, and then he's one of the few guys who can say this too. Like, of all those like super athletic guys that you can think of who had a few nice career highlights and then didn't have much else of a career, how many of them can say they did this also? A legitimate 4-point play when you need it. You down 4 and you actually get a 4-point play. Like, how many elite athlete nobodies can say that? Not that many, if any. But that's what I'm saying at the beginning. He was actually a good 3-point shooter on top of all of this. In today's NBA, I think he would have been... Who would he be in today's NBA? Let's think about this. I don't remember too much about his on-ball defense, other than his ability to make plays with his... disrupt plays with his length. So I can't go so far as to say he would be like, you know, a Jay Crowder on a good team. But who could he be? I mean, is there a reason he can't be Mikal Bridges? Like, I know that's silly. Like, I'm like, I don't know if he has the defense of Crowder, but maybe he has the defense of one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. I know, that sounds ridiculous. I'm just saying that because, like, I'm thinking similar body type. A little bit. Crowder's a little more built, and Bridges is a little more leaner and longer. But yeah, like, could he be? I don't know. You tell me. Could he be, who else would be a good example of this? I'm just cycling through all the really good teams this year. It doesn't matter. The point is, every team in the NBA nowadays could use a player like that. And then this last one I just wanted to show. It's a little different than the others. It's still a highlight, but it's not like, it doesn't really showcase anything other than just, yeah, it's a pretty standard clear out into a last shot. I think they gave him this. I don't think I saw this one live. I think the only reason they gave him this is because like he was super hot at the end of this game. Like he had already scored a bunch in overtime, and he just had a good game overall. But is that Josh Smith on him? If so, I mean Josh Smith is a really good defender. I think it is. Yeah. See, just tell me that's not KD. You know, like I'm not saying Travis Ella is KD level, but tell me that's not something KD would do. Just, you know, just lull you to sleep, and he can make his move anytime because he's so tall and long, and can shoot. That's vintage. Yeah, that is Josh Smith, first of all, defending him, and yeah, that's a vintage KD move. He's not as. So you know what, like. Am I saying that in another universe, Travis Outlaw could have been KD? I don't know. You tell me. But anyway, all jokes aside, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the crazy career of a player that no one remembers. Is wildly athletic, can shoot the three, has elite skills, has crazy highlights of all varieties, a 4-point play that actually tie a game winner where he ISOs and basically does a KD move, getting 13 feet, getting a ball 13 feet in the air, 12 feet in the air, right? Block, like, who is this guy? I freaking love him. And it's just a shame his career wasn't a little more celebrated, but, you know, I don't know. I've had so much fun making these silly basketball videos lately where I just riff. So I thought I'd make this, and if anyone wants to watch it, then I hope you learn a little bit about Mr. Travis Outlaw today.